I've been here for 2 months now, and I wanted to make a video about what it's like living here in the Philippines. Maybe answer some questions that people might have. I was doing it for a different reason. Mine was for travel and making YouTube videos, but I should be able to kind of hit the nail on the head with other things too. So the first big thing is it's going to be more expensive than you think. Now it is definitely cheaper here. That's 100%, much cheaper. For instance, I'm at Starbucks right now. I just bought a coffee right now. Now it was 175 pesos, which is $3. Now that's cheaper than back home. In the US, it'd probably be about double that for that same coffee. But the thing that which sneaks you in is you're probably gonna be taking a lot of Grabs, which is like the Uber of the Philippines. You're probably gonna wanna stay in certain areas, right? You're gonna wanna stay in a little bit nicer places. So now it's definitely cheaper, but it's not like it's dirt cheap like you would think. It's gonna be more expensive than you think. And after spending a couple months here, my expenses honestly are about the same as what I was spending back home in the US. And that's like with a car payment and things like that. Now, and I was living at a nice apartment too. The thing is I'm also traveling. Now, if I was hunkered down just working, working all day, just coming home, maybe cooking something at dinner, then obviously I'd spend a lot less money. But it's definitely more than you would think. At least bare minimum, you're gonna want $1,000 a month. And that's if you're, honestly, I would say that's if you're a homebody. That's if you're a homebody. Me, I like to eat out all the time. A lot of times also I've been eating alone. So that's a major thing. I'm not paying for somebody else to eat with me. The second thing is you need to be patient. So service here in the Philippines is a little bit different than it is back home. In America, it's almost like the faster the service, the better the service, right? So it's all about like efficiency, quickness, like apologizing, I'm sorry, sir, it took so long. I'm sorry, ma'am. Now they are good about that here as well. They are. It's not like they're just completely blow you off, especially with the big companies in here like Starbucks and stuff like that. Filipinos are very hospitable and they have great customer service, but things just move at a little bit slower pace. I think Filipinos are extremely patient. So it's just in the culture to be more patient and relaxed. Well, I think it's a great thing. It's refreshing because people here are very relaxed. But if you're trying to rush, if you have a rush type personality, you're not gonna fit here. You're not gonna fit. Either you're gonna get whipped into shape or you're gonna have to leave because you have to be patient here. So that's the second biggest thing. And let me say also, I think it's a good thing. It's just different, just a different style. I think it's more of a cultural thing. Filipinos are very patient. So they're like that with all situations. They're patient with you. Let me give a quick example. Like, let's say someone's trying to sell you something, right? Like they'll just say, hey, do you want this? And you'll be like, and then you can kind of just stop and just stare at each other for a minute, and they're just kind of like waiting there, and then it's like, no, I don't want it. So make sure you bring a pocket full of patience because you're gonna need it. And honestly, patience is one of the pillars of a happy life, I think, anyways, right? So maybe come to the Philippines to learn some patience. The third thing is bring as much cash with you as you can to get it exchanged. If you're coming for vacation, especially if you're coming for a couple weeks, a month, bring as much as you can, maybe 1,000 or however much you plan on spending, because it's most likely going to be cheaper for you in the long run. I've been here for 2 months now, and I don't constantly, but when I have to pull out money, it's $5 from the Filipino bank. And my bank account, I think, doesn't charge me. And I'm lucky I have a good bank account. But other bank accounts, they might be charging you fees on top of that. I know last time I came to the Philippines, there were times where I'd pull out cash and I was getting charged $10 to pull that cash out, 500 pesos to pull out money. So definitely bring as much money as you can or are comfortable with for the exchange rate. Or there's apps like Remitly. There's an app where you can send money, and I'm pretty sure you can send money to yourself, and they generally give really good exchange rates. So you essentially send US dollars online and to some kind of bank or facility here, and you go pick up pesos from there. And I believe you can send it to yourself, or maybe you have a friend that you trust and you can just send it to them in their name and then go pick it up with them. So definitely bring as much cash as you can. I've been traveling for 4 months now and through Asia, and I've spent at least $200 in ATM fees. So make sure you bring an envelope. The fourth thing is you can travel through the Philippines very affordably. Now, there was a video where I traveled from Cebu to Siquijor. I stopped from Mobile, Cebu to Dumaguete down to Siquijor, and that cost me about $25 US. And so it wasn't expensive, but I mean, it was a little bit more maybe than you would think. Now, on the flip side, I use Agoda, and Agoda has a great thing where you can book a flight and a hotel bundle, and if you do that, they really, whatever their system does really saves a lot of money. For instance, I was in Cebu City. I booked a flight the night before. I think it was 12 hours before the flight departure. Cebu City to Davao. It was actually Philippines Airlines, which is the best airlines here. It came with the hotel for one night, and it was $60, which is about 3,000 pesos after taxes. And that was the day before the flight. And it wasn't even 12 hours. I think it was like 10 hours before the flight. Now, on the flip side of that, when I went to the counter, I didn't register my bag online, and online it would have cost me maybe 500 pesos to check the bag. But at the actual check-in counter, they charged me, it was 2,200 pesos, which is like $40. Just under $40 for like a little bag. It wasn't even a big bag. So that basically, to check my one bag was almost the price of the whole flight and hotel bundle that I got. So be careful with that. Make sure you check the regulations here. They'll get you good. They don't mess around. And every airline's like that, right? But here, they're not flexible with it, obviously. And generally what it seems like they do is they charge you more at the airport versus if you were to pay for your bag online. So that's kind of a pointer. But definitely, I recommend Agoda. They have a flight hotel bundle. You get really good deals. The flights alone were double without booking the hotel. So that's been good for me so far. The fifth thing is try to explore as much as you can. I learned that you really got to get out and explore the Philippines. Prior to coming this time, I had been here twice, and I had only been to Cebu City and Manila. And although they're great cities, and you still can have a lot of fun, and you still can enjoy yourself and relax, it's a whole nother story when you leave and go out into the province and to the smaller cities, to the beaches. It's really, really a different side of the country, and I highly recommend it. And even if you're thinking, man, maybe this is my first time coming to the Philippines, I only got a couple weeks, I would really try to squeeze it in. I would maybe you can fly to an area where it's pretty short travel time. You can hop on a small plane maybe to get to some nice beaches. I'm telling you, you got to do it. The Philippines has the most beautiful beaches, amazing snorkeling. I mean, it's amazing. And there's so many islands, over 7,000 islands. You can come here, you can stay at a beach resort for a great price. You can just go out onto the beach, a couple dollars for some flippers and fins for the day. 100 pesos, and go and see like world-class diving. I mean, insane, like National Geographic type stuff. And actually the Philippines got nominated for the #1 dive country in the world. And so and it's close with Indonesia. You have to go and explore as much as you can. And also, if you're on a quick trip and you don't mind spending extra money, you can take taxis and Grabs. They have plenty of van services. That's really the easiest way. You can pay 3,000 to 5,000 pesos, like $60 to $100, and get like a 4-hour private van ride somewhere to like a beach or somewhere nice. And it's really convenient that way too. And the last thing that I figured out over time is look up information on Facebook. Back home in the US, they don't do business like that on Facebook. They do, but in a different capacity. Here they do a lot of business on Facebook and on WhatsApp as well. So let's say you Google something and you can't find much information on it, go onto Facebook and just use Facebook as a Google, and you'll find like bus schedules, different little transportation information or different business information that you would find on there that you wouldn't normally be able to find. And my final thing is, this isn't even a number, this is just my takeaway last piece of advice. Just be cool and enjoy it. The Filipinos are real cool, calm, collected. They take their time, like I said earlier, very patient. So just go with the flow, just fit it, just relax and enjoy. I hope you enjoy, explore it as much as you can, bring as much money as you can, and be as patient as you can. We'll see you here. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.